So this next question is asking us about Art Unit prediction tools. There's several of them out there. We had worked on the first one and then have developed one that's now available through the Triangle tool as an add-on feature that you can get for any number of users at a very affordable price. But the question is how do you optimize your patent prosecution strategy based on an Art Unit prediction tool? So I'll talk about it generally, and you can certainly take a look at our tool. There are others out there, but they generally will try and give a prediction on where your patent is going to land at the patent office. So I was talking with the Commissioner for Patents a few administrations ago, and this was as we were working on developing the first tool, and I said to him, who's the most powerful person at the patent office? And the Commissioner for Patents is the number 2 person, right? At the Patent and Trademark Office, but they're in charge of all patents. So I think I was pretty good friends with him, and he thought I was trying to flatter him, but he's not. He doesn't want to admit that. Oh, you must be talking about me, you know? And the joke was, it wasn't him. When a patent gets filed at the patent office, somebody analyzes that patent with some software that tries to guess where it should go within the patent office. And they'll also review it and make a determination that it should go here or it should go there. And there's a bunch of very close calls within the patent office. So there's a part of the patent office in computer architecture, in the computer architecture space, that will handle encryption, right? Encryption can be very detailed and very sophisticated. But there's also another part of the patent office in the business method tech center that handles encryption. And that's what tends to go there are things that are very fluffy and may just say the word encryption and otherwise have very little technology in it. But that person, the classifier, the most powerful person at the patent office, sits there and says the case either goes here or it goes there. And unfortunately, even though 2/3 of all patents in general that are filed at the office get issued as a patent, it's not uniform. So for example, in the computer architecture space that might get this case, the allowance rate is more like 80%. Whereas in business methods, it tends to be, 10 to 40% allowance rate. So you can very much have a situation where that classifier sends the case to the part of the patent office that will give you a patent, or the part of the patent office that will not give you a patent. And once you're there, right? Once the case has been signed to an examiner, there's no real way to sit there and say, well, it should go somewhere else. Oh, you sent it to the wrong area. Give me a better examiner. It doesn't work that way. Once it's been assigned, it's been assigned. And short of that examiner leaving the office or some absurd inappropriateness of that examiner, not just bad decision making or not allowing your case, that case is going to be stuck there. So you have your case in this black hole, this gravity storm within the patent office where it's never going to get out, and you're just going to argue it in perpetuity. So that joke illustrates the point, which is these Art Unit Predictor tools will look at the case and how you drafted it and guess whether it's going here or it's going there. And it'll even tell you some of the words that are causing it to go here, some of the words that are causing it to go there. Generally, it's not just word choice. It's kind of how you go about drafting things. So with regard to business methods, if the idea is described at too much of a high level without much technology, it tends to go to business methods. If the innovation is very detailed and talks about some of the inner workings of those details, it's going to go to a better part of the office. And even though these tools are available and so forth, and very instructive for the uninitiated, I'm to the point where I write a case, I can run it through the tool or not run it through the tool, and almost all of my cases get to a good part of the patent office because I just know innately that when you're talking about a GUI innovation, it goes to the GUI Art Unit, which is really bad. But if you talk about what enables those innovations in the GUI, it's going to go to the computer architecture Art Unit. Or if you're talking about AI in general, like innovations with regard to AI, those are very hard to get through. But if it's AI as applied to a particular use case where you give lots of details for a given vertical, you often get to a better part of the patent office. Innately, I just know the second I sit down with the inventor, I'm getting lots of details on these particular areas that are going to generally direct it into a good area. And a lot of that learning comes from running these tools over and over and over again to eliminate the possibility, or at least reduce the possibility, that it's going to go to a bad part of the patent office. So once you're there, those cases are really hard to get through. So one of the things that we do in the triangle tool is we will show you the average number of rounds of argument of a particular examiner, the allowance rate of a particular examiner on a particular case, so you can know whether that case has gotten to someone who is very unlikely to allow your case. Not that they don't allow it, but sometimes it's pretty close to zero. There's one examiner that I encountered on a case that we had inherited, and she very proudly said that she had never allowed a case in 20 years at the patent office. I think there was even an article that was written about it because she posted something on her door to that effect, very proudly. And it was funny, I had the interview with somebody who worked for her, and she took the initiative of barging in on the interview. And she very proudly said, "You may have heard of me." And she was that person, and I looked it up on one of the blog sites, read all about her, and that case never got through, right? And you're just kind of wasting your time to pursue it, because somebody who doesn't allow a case in 20 years, pretty unlikely you're going to be her first loss from her perspective. So anyway, the Art Unit Predictor tools allow you to make that good decision up front. And sometimes it's just a matter of, look, all we have is this technology. We don't have anything more than that. And it may be going back to the client to get some underlying technology that enables that feature, or it may just be simply, look, you can't get a patent in this space. And knowing that beforehand will save a lot of money, because you can argue these things forever and run up tons of legal fees in a hopeless cause. So the Art Unit Predictor Tool, absolutely crucial, is look through your portfolio. At least in the triangle tool, it will give you the statistics on the examiners you have, and then wonder, could I have averted that disaster going into it by just crafting the case a little bit differently, or focusing in on this more technical aspect than this more maybe commercial aspect of it. And that will help your counsel figure that out, and certainly will give you a heads up to know why you ended up in this hopeless situation. So I hope that answers the question. If you have any follow-up, put in the comments below, or send us another question. And if you got something out of this video, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.